All right, we're talking about sin today, social insurance number, and I've already started this with class, so you should have your notes with the blanks on it right here. And if you don't have these on you, you can print this off, MrMathWell.com, Financial Literacy 30 page, and go through this lesson, fill in the blanks, and learn a little bit about social insurance numbers. So your social insurance number is also referred to as the SIN. That's the letters it stands for. It's a 9-digit identification number that allows you to work in Canada. Your SIN allows you to receive benefits and services from the government, and they are issued from Service Canada. For citizens and permanent residents of Canada, the first digit of your SIN is typically associated with the province or territory that you resided in when you first applied. So my social insurance starts with a 6, and so does all the social insurance numbers of my whole family. So I'm guessing that 6 is the Saskatchewan one, okay? Your SIN doesn't expire. If it was used fraudulently, then they may issue you a new one, but generally it's the one you have for the rest of your life. Okay, so Jasmine got a SIN number when she, got a SIN when she was in Nova Scotia. The first digit confirms where the SIN was issued, and Jasmine will keep using this SIN even if she moves to another province or territory for work. Okay, who gets a temporary SIN? A temporary SIN is issued to visitors, permit holders, refugees, and temporary workers who are legally entitled to work in Canada. These numbers will begin with a 9, and they will have an expiry date. So a temporary SIN has an expiry date, and is for visitors and permit holders, refugees, temporary workers. Okay, what if you are not eligible for a SIN number? Well, individuals who are considered non-residents, such as international students, may not be able to get a SIN, but still have to file an income tax and benefit return. These individuals may apply for an individual tax number, ITN, through Canada Revenue Agency or CRA. So if you are not a resident and you do make income, then you can still submit that, but you need a temporary, an individual tax number. Residents of Canada who are not entitled to receive a SIN or an ITN and still have a file to return may be able to apply for a temporary tax number through CRA, and it might start with an 01 or 03. Okay, so most of you here are residents, I believe, and so you should be able to get a SIN number, but there are provisions for people that can't get a SIN number. And yes, I'll probably say SIN number, even though it's a little redundant, but that's what's normally said. You may already have one, so in Canada, parents and legal guardians will usually apply for their child's SIN when they are born. This is done through the Newborn Registration Service. Okay, so a newborn registration service, a service used to register the birth of a new baby. It can also be used to apply for things such as birth certificates, SIN, and Canada Child Benefit. So probably when you guys were born, your parents did submit the forms to get a social insurance number for you. So you should ask your parents if you have one. And if you do have one, you should memorize it. It's one of the numbers you should memorize in your life. As I mentioned before, the social insurance number you should memorize. Your driver's license you should memorize, and your health card number you should memorize. There may be others, but those are very important 3. All right, so if you don't have one, you can apply online, by mail, or through person going to Service Canada. If you think you might have one, you don't know about it, you can also go there and confirm if you have one. You should do this if you are not sure if you have a SIN, if you forgot your SIN, or you lost your SIN. So, Service Canada, there's Government of Canada offices in every city, so you should be able to find one downtown. Okay, so the bold terms are the blanks there, I guess, so you guys got that. Online, you can apply for one online. Forgot and lost. Okay, so let's do a little test question here. Ramy is a Canadian citizen and his parents applied for his SIN when he was born. Will he need to reapply when he's older? No. The answer is no. Very good. All right, so what else about a SIN? You should keep it safe. Your SIN is unique, personal, and confidential. You're the only person who's supposed to use it. You are responsible for keeping it safe. If you lose your SIN, this could lead to fraud or even identity theft. So here it is to memorize your SIN and keep it safe instead of carrying it around with you. A lot of times when you apply for a job and they give you the forms to fill out, tax information and stuff, social insurance number will always be on there. If you have it memorized, you don't need to present your card, usually. You just write the number down. If it's the wrong number, you're going to get in trouble. But, you know, if you have the number memorized, you don't often have to show your social insurance number to anyone. Usually it's just, if you have it memorized, you're good to fill out forms and stuff like that. Okay, when would you need your social insurance number? You'll need it when your employer, to give to your employer when you start a new job, give to your financial institution when you open an account. Oh, so if you'll be earning interest or income from that account, you'll definitely have to give your SIN to the bank, to a government agency to access benefits or services, and to CRA, the Canada Revenue Agency, when you do your taxes. So those are the main times and for what that you'll need to give your SIN, okay? Your employer and your financial institution need your SIN to send information about your income to CRA. They are also responsible for protecting your personal information. All right, example, using your SIN when you start a new job. Omar has had a SIN his whole life because his parents applied for it when he was born. His parents received a letter from Service Canada confirming Omar's SIN, and they keep the letter safely in a filing cabinet. Last year, Omar was hired at his first job and needed to complete some paperwork before starting. Some of the forms required Omar to enter his SIN. Omar knew that this was safe to do. In February of this year, Omar's employer submitted information about Omar's income to the CRA. Omar will use the same information along with his SIN when he files for his income tax and benefit return by the April deadline. Okay? So if your employer is obligated to report your income to the government, then the government, when you fill your tax return in, the government kind of knows how much you made, and they know how much tax you paid, and so they know a lot of it, but you still do have to fill out your own income tax return, and they cross-reference it with their records. But it also means that if you did not get a statement of earnings from your employer when it comes to tax time, that you can access that through the government. It's not necessarily easy to do, but you can get some important information from the government. So, an income tax and benefit return. The Canadian tax return that individuals complete every year to calculate whether they owe tax on their income. They must also complete the return to receive federal and provincial and territorial benefits and credits. The process of completing and submitting your tax return to the Canada Revenue Agency is often referred to as filing your taxes or doing your taxes. So I think we've talked a little bit about this. Okay, Omar received a text message claiming to be from the CRA requesting Omar to provide his SIN to receive a payment. Should Omar reply to this text message? Okay, so CRA will not send you a text saying, give me your SIN number so you can get a payment. They will not do it that way. So no, you should be very careful not to give your social insurance number to anyone over text. Okay? We'll talk a little bit about the My CRA account. I don't know if any of you guys would be interested in that yet. I'm not sure if you're really filing taxes yet, but anyways, the My CRA account is a way that you can access some of this stuff, and the government will send you messages through that account as well. All right, is that the end of your notes package? Yeah. This one? Awesome, okay. So that's a little bit about social insurance number, about filing your taxes, and why social insurance number is important. Okay, okay, so let's see. What I want, tell me 5 things from this handout that you think would be important for everyone to remember. Okay, just give me, each of you give me 1, okay, and we'll just see if we can do 5. Okay, you had your hand up first. What's one thing we should remember?
Don't tell anybody your SIN number.
Okay, don't share your SIN number. Yeah, who can you share it to though?
Like CRA, but like...
Yeah, CRA, but you gotta be careful of the messages from CRA, right? CRA, yeah, for doing your taxes. Your employer, when you, a job. And then like the government of Canada when you're trying to get benefits or something like that from the government. Yes, there was a hand back there. It doesn't expire. Very good. Yes.
I was going to say.
You're going to say that? Okay, that's 2. Let's do 3 more from this. Just look through your handout there and tell us something important or something that we should not forget. Yes.
It's important to memorize it.
Yes, you should memorize it. Yeah, you should. because you don't want to pull that card out every time if you're filling out forms. A lot of times you don't have to show your card, you just have to make sure that it's correct. Yes?
Yeah, and parents also get a My CRA account so you can keep track of.
Yes, the My CRA account is a good idea to get. Yeah, when you can do that. And one more?
You can also get a temporary SIM card.
Yeah, you could get a temporary SIN if you are not a resident, or if you, if you're a visitor or someone that doesn't have residency, yes, you can get a temporary number.
They've stopped making them on plastic cards.
Did they? Do they not make the little plastic cards like credit cards anymore?
Wait, what? They're like,
They're just on paper?
yeah.
Yeah, that could be, yeah,
Wait,
could be.
Roxy, I actually have
It's like 20.
just a
15,
quick
I think they
question.
stopped.
Okay, yeah, question?
That that like, especially when I talk to my dad about this, so he pronounces like SIN, right?
It's fine.
Pronounces SIN. So like I want to be sure because my dad gets a lot of pronunciations wrong.
Yeah, no, you could call it an SIN, yes.
Okay.
It's kind of weird talking about it as sin. Like, hey, get a sin, everyone. You know, sin's good, everyone. You know, I don't know, it just kind of sounds a little bit weird. But yeah, the SIN's fine. Social insurance number, yep. Okay. Yeah, when you guys go open up an account at a bank, if you haven't yet, you'll need your social insurance number for that. All right? Okay, good job.